Hello, everyone, and welcome to LegionsCast episode 64. This is not an episode with Stephen Bisciotti or the fantastic Len LaGuardia. It's
I'm
simply
out.
me, Emil Wickman. But with two other amazing people, Curtis Akerman and Kent Matzinger. Welcome, both of you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So I'm so happy to have both of you here.
Thank you, Emil.
Yeah, it's exciting. I don't know that that's how I would have started it by saying, Steven's not going to be here. We probably already lost half the audience, but that's fine.
I'll go with the honesty part. So, I mean, with our rather lose everyone and stay true. but we're going to have a good day. And happy, what do you say, 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic day for you guys.
Yeah.
Not working today.
Yeah, it's really good for me because my kids are old enough that I don't have to go watch fireworks tonight. So it's excellent.
Well, Curtis, you usually very accustomed to saying hi to the people in the chat. So
sure,
we have a lot of people there. You can't put them on screen, but I can help you with the beginning.
Yeah. So we've got Kirby out there. Well, this was earlier. I'm not sure if Kirby's back with us. We'll see. But Kirby was out there. We had Gobcast. I did see Eddie is here. Eduardo.
We have another from Kirby, actually.
Tom cruising for a bruising. I think that's Maverick. So hey, Maverick. We've got Kent here with us. David Williams, Joe Gonzalez, Adam Power, Kevin McCoy, and Tanya McCoy. We got both the McCoys in the house. We got Blyce Segway. Oh, I'm sorry. Kent, you want to handle this one?
Oh, man. I love my friends. They want me to grow. So I'm trying to do much better. And I love G. So I don't want to mispronounce his name. Esgavaria.
Nailed it.
It's perfect.
We've got Elemental _crafting. Stephanie Ork is out there, and Carlo from Immortal Collections. So
welcome everybody. That was everyone. And well, did you say this wonderful fellow Adam Power as well?
Yep. Got Adam.
You did. You're quick. You're good at that. Welcome everyone to this episode. Today we're gonna talk about. Well, we're not gonna talk as much. We're gonna start by sculpting. In a few minutes, we're just gonna do an introduction about God's Fire.
What? God's Fire? I heard that was dead.
God's Fire never dies.
So God's Fire never dies. I love that you say that, Kent. We love customizing Mythic Legions and now as well Cosmic Legions figures.
Mm-hmm.
And as part of customizing different figures, me and Stephen Bisciotti, a couple of years ago, we started playing with ideas for creating figures that we, was part of a separate storyline. Not part of the Mythic Legions storylines, but we could use their parts, all of those things, and then just add a head sculpt to a character, and kind of like you're playing with it. And by doing a website, by selling these sculpts, the idea was to invite others to this world of having fun, and it turned into something that a lot of people like. Maybe you can say, Curtis, why did you get interested in God's Fire?
Yeah, actually, Kent and I we did a Wednesday one shot not too long ago about God's Fire, and we had similar stories, and it's just, it's not just parts. Like it's parts that are amazing sculpts that also have these unique stories behind them, and it's the lore, associated with it, and it's just a lot of fun. So, I would either read these stories, or usually I would listen to Emil read these stories because I don't read that much. And there's audio files on there with Emil reading these bios, and I would listen to it Sitting around with Darla, we would listen to it, and I would go, "Man, I want to create that character. Like that, it's such a unique character that I want to make it, and I want to bring it to life." And I think the cool thing is that I could read or listen to that bio and make that character, and then Luis Torres could make it, and it looks totally different. But we both took things away from the bio that we incorporated into the custom. And you've done them. Obviously, Steven's done them. Plenty of people have worked on these. So it's interesting to see people's different takes on the same character. I really enjoy that.
Yeah, that's great to hear. That's great to hear that you can hear the same bio and create something totally different.
Yeah. I see G out there saying he blames me and Kent for his current obsession. Well, we're sorry and thank you. So,
yes,
I've been enabling him.
Yeah,
and some of the guys, let's just show this as well. Joe Gonzalez, the mud thumbs are still some of my favorite customs I've ever done, and we're gonna talk about the mud thumbs in a bit. The mud thumbs are a group of goblins, part of this God's Fire lore.
And Joe did some amazing customs on those too. His are really good.
He did. I love those. So Edgardo is asking, where can we find these stores of God's Fire? Funny you would ask. So what we're watching now is godsfireseries.com. Is that how you would pronounce it? Godsfireseries.com?
Yep. Godsfireseries.com.
And when you come to this site, you see the God's Fire logo with fire behind, and you're scrolling down, and then you say, welcome to the God's Fire website. God's Fire is an expanding fantasy story based on Templar Knights. So in this world, the center characters are these 5 Templar Knights who are a special unit called God's Fire. Here we have the bios for most of characters, not all, well, many of the characters that I read. So you can listen to them if you want to, or you can click here on any of these characters. Let's just talk. We start with the first one, the Believer.
Great figure. Head sculpt.
Thank you. And this is the main, like the leader of the group of the God's Fire characters. And one of my very, very early sculpts. I hadn't been sculpting much when I started doing this. So it's part of my journey as a sculptor as well. When you click on any character on the site, you see the title, you have the name. Some characters have the full name and how old they are. And then I love role-playing. I love stats. I love cards. I mean, I was even interested in collecting hockey cards when I was younger because of all the stats. And, I knew all about Detroit Red Wings, but I have never seen a game. So, so each character on the site has these meters. How charismatic, how strong they are, how intelligent or not intelligent they are. A small quote about the character, and then we have the bio for this character. And reading all the bios, you get the full story. So you can't get the full story by, like go to this page and just read this. You get snippets of the bigger picture while reading the different stories. And here is something that I must fix, because we have a few photos here of the character, but the idea was that this is something that all who wants to join in on having fun with creating customs with the Mythic Legions figures from Four Horsemen and with these extra parts from the God's Fire series can do their own customs. And a lot of people have been sending these to me, and it's supposed to be a gallery below here. It's only gray right now, where everyone can go in and look at Curtis Akerman's version of the Believer, or Stephen Bishardi's, or Joe Gonzalez's version of the Mud Thumbs. So I need to look into that ASAP, because it's so much fun to see how everyone is interpreting these characters.
Oh yeah.
Up at the top here, we have the God's Fire, the 5 characters from the God's Fire. It's these are the main characters. We have the Alliance, which is well, they wouldn't call themselves evil, but for to make a long version short, they are the evil ones. To make it so, the God's Fire, they're part of this group called the Order, a big order that are defending the kingdom. And the Alliance, this guy, Lord Porosa, is an important character. He is here, he is the leader of the Alliance, but he is also a high ranking person within the Order and within the kingdom. He is like a person with two different, what do you say, his only agenda is his own. And we're gonna go back to him before we start sculpting. We have another order here that's called the Pure, only two characters there, and then to the right we have a number of different characters that are not easy to just fit into one of the other factions. For example, we have the Mud Thumps.
Heck yeah.
The Mud Thumps. And the Mud Thumps, we're going to look at some photos here in a minute. They're basically a group of goblins working as, how would you describe them, Curtis?
I called them like hillbilly mobsters.
That's a really good one. And the whole group of Mud Thumps are led by Mama Mud Thump. She has her oldest son, Bobo Jr., also called Brother, as the leader, you could say, and her second child, her Luna Mud Thump. You can read their stats, and you have more characters. I'm gonna show you photos of the first four. Let's see.
And we were talking about like the unique bios and stuff, and it's like Luna takes people out by making baked goods that will take them out. So I mean, it's just unique things that come with these characters. So
she is a sneaky character.
Yes.
Here we have Loco. Loco Mud Thump is he is Loco. He's crazy. He doesn't talk much. He has a chain around his collar that his sister is well, controlling him. Here we have Luna. These are my versions of the Mud Thumps. To the left here we have Billy. Billy is the one with a mullet.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna sculpt another goblin belonging to the clan of Mud Thumps today, and we're gonna do that together. So everyone here in the chat, we're gonna talk about creating this story, this bio for this character, getting ideas for who this character is, and then I will be doing the sculpting. But everyone who wants to, get any ideas on how should he or she look, just feel free to comment whatever you want.
Yeah, so we've done a couple of these now. We did one with Chit Chat, which is a dwarf head. One with the general, who's a member of the Pure within God's Fire, where, just like Emil said, like people were throwing stuff out in the chat as he's sculpting. It's hard for him to keep up with the comments as he's, working on the sculpt. So I'll try to communicate those to Emil, and he'll try to incorporate as many as he can into the sculpt. Yeah. And so in a way, everybody that's here today is sculpting this along with Emil. So.
And here in the background, we see Momo. And Momo is he's not really a goblin. He's an ogre that Mama Mud Thump found when he was a baby and raised him as one of her own. Like, she thought that she could use a strong, big muscle package in her family, and he thinks he's a goblin. He's not very smart. Before we go into the sculpting, there's just one more thing, and that is, I found when I was looking for stuff for God's Fire, I found this old the first rendition I did of the head sculpts, and I did some Photoshop painting here.
Very cool.
The first 4 God's Fire characters. There's a 5th one who's called the Fallen, but he was not created when these 4 were done. This was fun. We have the Redeemer to the left. We have the Faithless, the Believer, the Judge, and the Fallen. Not gonna go into more of the bio, but before the last thing now, I'm just gonna go back to Lord Perosa.
Just to clarify, they are God's Fire within God's Fire. So God's Fire a lot of time, yeah.
Let's say it like this: they are God's Fire, and God's Fire is this elite group within the Order. The Order is the Templars that are defending the kingdom.
Yeah, but I think a lot of times when people refer to God's Fire, they're referring to all of it, like the Mud Thumps, the Alliance, everything else. But these, the 4 here, plus the one that you mentioned, the Faithless, or I'm sorry, the Fallen, they are God's Fire.
Correct.
So just so everybody knows.
Yeah. So,
Emil, can I ask a quick question?
Any question you want to ask?
We go back one with the Faithless. So with like all the soft goods that we're getting these days, as a creator, would you ever consider maybe doing Faithless again, or do you feel kind of true to that sculpt with it being, the hood being part of it?
So can I pause that and maybe give a semi answer to that within my response here? It's a good question, and that one was a bit tricky to sculpt a hood in resin. It's not flexible at all. How do you sculpt that to make it fit and look good? For the storyline, because there was some rumor that God's Fire was dead because there were no new sculpts coming, no new bios posted on the website, and the rumor was it was a strong rumor, a hard rumor, like gossip. But Kent is one of the one who, maybe the one who said God's Fire never dies. So we teased a couple of months ago that this summer was gonna be the return of God's Fire, the story. And I would like to say something about Lord Perosa here, because where we are in the storyline is that Lord Perosa wants to take over the Order and the kingdom, but he was stopped by the Order's elite troop, God's Fire. So they got in his way. They were not his goal. His goal was to take over the whole kingdom. God's Fire got in the way and stopped him. So where the story is now is that Lord Perosa is back, and he has gone personal in his revenge against God's Fire. And so he's using his dark magic to create something that will stop God's Fire. And this will be revealed. Well, I'm going to say that this will have to be revealed once Stephen Bouchard has finished one final thing. Once that is done, we will reveal what that is. And that is the start, but because then we're planning to not let the rumors come back that God's Fire is dead. So there will be more things coming, and even more things leading up to LegionsCon.
If y'all see me picking up my phone, I'm just messaging Steven to see if he's done yet.
That's gonna be fun to see what he says. So with that said, because that is what I wanted to reveal, and you didn't get a clear answer to what you asked. Yeah, let me just say, darn it, I'm not good at this avoiding questions and
Stay
stuff.
tuned.
Yeah, just wait a little bit, okay?
To be continued. And I think it's a good question, for the horsemen as well. We're getting as of version 2, and she's got the head sculpt, and it's I was never a huge fan of soft goods until I got into Legions. Some of my growth with soft goods was the inspiration from God's Fire and kind of building on to the Templars and adding the head sculpts. So I just think it's interesting and something that just curious as a creator. And either way, you see some great stuff. People get the opportunity to paint that or play with the soft goods. So it's not like there's necessarily a bad choice.
I love the plastic capes, the plastic hoods. I mean, the plastic hoods that Four Horsemen do. I think they look great. I'm not against the cloth hoods, but I really like the plastic resin hoods, like with Faithless. That could be that's not the best material to go with that, but it served its purpose at the time.
Yes, I agree.
So before I leave all the comments to you, Curtis, and Curtis will not be able to bring up the comments on screen, but let's just do something here before doing that. This helmet is beautiful, ornate. Was that hard to cast the sculpt in hard resin?
So it's printed in resin.
It's printed in resin.
Yeah, there's no casting here. So Emil does the 3D sculpting, sends it off to Len, and then Len prints it on the 3D printer. So there's no casting involved, but it's definitely a beautiful sculpt. I don't know if you want to talk about what went into this, with the snakes and everything.
I usually sculpt every piece. There are so many different ways you can add, what do you say? There are so many ready parts within ZBrush, the sculpting tool, sculpting software, that you can add onto a piece. Okay, I rarely use those. I use those for some cables and stuff. Now for Cosmics, that makes it easier to draw cables and stuff like that. Now I should probably do that more, but I just enjoy the hand sculpting part of it. When it comes to this piece, I actually used snake brushes. So that is where I actually tried to incorporate that, to use a brush that you can actually sculpt into the actual sculpt, or paint into it.
Awesome.
Shall we start?
Sure. So we are doing a goblin today, correct?
Correct. Today we're doing a goblin, and
are we saying that this goblin is part of the Mud Thump family?
We are, and the idea is the
family.
idea is that we're gonna create a base story for this character that we want to do.
Okay.
And then we're gonna create it, and then once it's done, we probably won't get to finish it whole today, but I will finish it after the live, and Steven will take all the pieces from that we brought up for this character, and he will put together a bio for it.
Okay.
And I think you can be a part of that as well, Curtis. You're already written a bio on the site.
I tried. So are we saying, like, are you expecting this to be like one of the siblings? Is this like a distant relative? Do we know what character we're doing yet, or is that kind of open?
That is open. That is what we're gonna do now, because I want to do that everyone who wants to be able to be a part of this, to create the story. So before I start the sculpting, here we have the sculpting tool ready. Just we need some ideas before we start. Anyone?
Well, the one character that we've never seen, and I don't know if this character is dead or if they're just missing from the story, is Bobo Senior.
Yeah,
We've never seen that character, and I don't know if he ran off or what the deal is.
and I can say right away, Bobo Senior, would be Mama Mudthumb's husband. From the bio, you can see that he gone missing, and so we're not gonna do any of the named characters.
Okay.
But I think that's the only named Mudthumb character, so we can, except for him.
We've got Joe Gonzalez is saying an uncle goblin with mutton chops. So,
yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I think family-wise, we're probably looking at aunt, uncle, or cousin. You got quite a few of the siblings and the found siblings. So,
well, last I heard, Mama was also looking for a man to help her out. So maybe this is a new addition to the Mudthumb family. So just throwing that out there.
There you go. So we have an uncle with mutton chops. Mutton chops, that's just like this, right?
Yeah.
Got it. Uncle
Like
with
real thick sideburns.
Yeah. And then we have a toad goblin from Kevin Boots. Suggesting.
yeah.
Yep. He's similar to the bog goblin.
So that chunky goblin.
Chunky goblin. We have this might be too scary. He should have an air of someone who eats babies. I think that's too scary for me.
Okay.
We shouldn't, because then we have to do babies and stuff like that to go along with it, and that we have got aunt, uncle, and cousin all at once. Well, that's
interesting. We've got a goblin that despises but is a bit jealous of the knights of God's fire and their armor. So maybe a goblin knight. That is an interesting idea.
A goblin knight.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
I think that's interesting. We could still incorporate the sideburns to that if we want to.
Right.
So we that's what I'm getting from now. Toad gobos. That is, what is that? Would that be goblins?
For what?
Toad goblins, like orc?
He said similar to a bog goblin, so something that a little bit thicker, maybe that would go on a dwarf body.
Maybe like that more toad frog like mouth.
Yeah, maybe we can incorporate all of these things. So let's say, okay, we have a toad, because that's what I'm hearing. We have sideburns, we have a toad, we have a knight, and all of this incorporated in this uncle somehow. So here we are in ZBrush, and I'm just gonna see. I prepared, so I have the file here with. This is
Billy,
the crazy cousin who was called in the file, Billy. I have all the heads here, and that is basically just for easier, because I have this sphere to just make the sphere similar to his head, so we have an idea of how big we should do the. We can change this anyway, but I'm just, there you go. So let's see.
Now, one of the things with the eyes, Kirby says eyes may be set more to the side than the front. So maybe a little bit kind of rotated to the side a little bit more.
Yeah. So then we just so already this is, the good thing when we're doing this together, everyone here in the chat, is that I can blame all of you.
So, we usually at this point in the stream, we let everybody know that we are not going to have a finished product by the time we're done, but you should have a pretty good idea of what it's going to look like, because after the main sculpting session, there's a lot of detail work that Emil has to go through to just fine tune the details on it before sending it off to be printed. So, usually this takes at least a couple sessions to finish. I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Emil.
No, that's fine. We're gonna be. We'll see how quick we're gonna do this. We usually have LegionsCast at 1.5 hours. I'm not sure if we're gonna try something like that. So we about an hour from now on. Okay.
Sounds good.
So
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything else going tonight because Legion's Ladies went earlier, and I don't think Dork Layer's on. So I don't think you're competing with anybody. So
okay, and so that's
game.
short. And then people can just, don't feel forced to watch if you don't want to see this, of course. So that's, but it's fun to do this together. So just. But it still should have some kind of nose, right?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Maybe up here.
Adam Power says, "Don't stray too far from the American South. We also need a banjo and a chicken for plucking."
Oh.
So usually when I start sculpting, and I think most people do that when they're using ZBrush, you have the symmetry activated. So when you sculpt on one side, you get the same on the other side.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then I love to, at the end, I go in and do a lot of asymmetry, like this, one eye is, so it's you get some, because this feels a lot more alive already when you do. Because no, at least no human is symmetrical. Thank you. So let's do like this. And I'll trust you have you two are in charge of the chat, because I'm not looking at the chat, so you have to be the extended.
I just chuckled because Adam Power said a truck stop hat, like the one I got from Michigan.
What is that?
I could show you. I could show you. It's not pretty, but and then yeah, Joe's talking about them sideburns / mutton chops. Looks like you're working on that. I'll be right back.
Oh yeah.
So we're just adding shapes. And mirror and welts, we have one on each side.
Yeah, that's so cool.
So Emil, this is a truck stop hat. So
okay, but I'm sorry, but we are no. I thought we were doing a night.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry.
just wanted to show you what we're talking about.
Thank you. I need to learn about the US and or what is Borat saying.
You're getting a couple requests for beer helmets.
Yeah, this was pure Michigan. I had to bring this home with me to bring a little bit of Michigan back to Missouri.
Oh. This is okay. Let's start giving. I just want to add different kinds of shapes, like ears and something something on his head.
When we're talking about a knight, are you thinking some sort of helmet, or how are you going to distinguish him as a knight?
I thought that is actually what I was thinking. A helmet.
Okay.
How would you see? Or maybe anyway, who was it that said?
Let me see. We go back in the chat. I'm missing it now. Gwynflade. Is that Gwion? I think maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if it sounded like, he was saying that he kind of despises, but also is jealous of the God's Fire crew.
So despite maybe being jealous,
So maybe
maybe
it's something where
he's
he's
not
trying
a
to
real knight.
look or act like them.
So have he like found a helmet and then consider himself to be a knight, and he's a constant liar and telling his Mud Thumb's relatives like he's a knight, and they're like, yeah, you are. And I can just imagine Billy and Loco was like, what? You're a knight? Yeah, Uncle Knight or something. It's like,
Yeah.
you're a knight. And he's really just found the equipment somewhere and just like, oh, and Luna is the only one
Kind of
understanding.
like in A Knight's Tale where the guy dies and he just like takes his armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Luna, she understands. She knows that her uncle is not a real knight, but she's like, I don't care. I don't care if you want to say that, So,
what if it is like a separate piece that's a helmet that would go on top of his head, similar to how Mama's hair goes on her?
Yeah.
Isn't
it? Len loves hats.
He does love hats. Yeah, that's a fact.
I think he should have hair in his ears.
Oh yeah.
that yes. Yeah, Uncle Goblin definitely needs hair in his ears.
Yeah. So these what were they called?
I called it was Guion.
It was Guion. So should the hair be going all the way back from the mutton chops all the way like?
Yeah, I think,
or is it just the hair?
And then maybe a spot. People were saying like a receding hairline, so maybe he's got a spot that comes down in the middle of his forehead, and then that receding.
Yeah, I think we could just
similar to Believer, but way more receding.
Way more receding.
Yeah.
That's gonna
kind of like Hulk Hogan.
We gotta merge these.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm merging these now.
Yeah, let's make him a Hulk Hogan goblin.
You can almost see it now, Uncle.
Joe said, do a chicken crest on his knight helmet.
Let's see.
Oh, shoot.
I think I should have had it more in this direction when I'm sculpting, but this feels more like how he walks around.
Guion said maybe a helmet like with a plume, but the plume is chicken feathers.
So you wanted the hair to go up as well? Like this? Or is it receding all the way back?
Some people are saying something about a tooth, maybe like one tooth showing.
One tooth showing. Yeah, instead of, I was thinking multiple teeth, but let's do.
J Max says Hulk Hogan Goblin is killing him.
Yeah, brother.
Oh, Steph says like Dracula. Yeah, Dracula would be a good one. As far as the hair.
Teeth? No.
Just I think she meant the hair. Maybe she means the teeth. I don't know. I was thinking, yeah, something like that.
Nice.
So let's we'll fix this later, but something, so it looks realistic, but we're just basically getting the shapes in place. And have you seen this before, or have you been sculpting yourself? It's one thing that I did a mistake early on. I think many do. You go into details too early on, and then the file gets really big. So my initial files were all like over a gigabyte or more, early on. It's like, I wonder why it's so slow, but it's.
Kirby says, I like the hairline further back. This fellow really tries hard to impress, but he doesn't have much to offer. Adam Power says one eye bigger than the other. He'll probably do that when he gets to the asymmetry portion.
Yes,
so
but I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
So, and now saving. I usually have 2 save files, like Goblin 1 and then Goblin. Oh,
Oh, so,
Goblin 2.
Brennan says Steve-O Bag. It is starting to look like Steve-O a bit.
Oh, come on. Don't say that. I think to get the overall feeling, maybe we should start with the helmet.
Okay.
What kind of now we're I was thinking that he should have something down the sides, but we need to see his chops. So maybe he shouldn't have that.
Maybe it's one that's like really too small for him, so it kind of just sits on top of his head for the most part.
Let's try it. We are early stage. What kind of shape do we want it?
I think something almost like maybe like a Mercurian type helmet, but without the parts that block the face, so that it would have like a plume and that kind of thing.
Like a plume.
Okay, or do you go something a little more Templar?
More Templar, yeah. Should probably.
Yeah, I mean that would be more of a bucket helmet, but you're not going to be able to see the face with that. So
right. No, but we can have. Oh, did I duplicate this too much?
I mean the new ones coming out, like the Elijah and Enoch, they just have chainmail around their heads. So maybe that's something. Maybe you just put some chainmail on them. Not sure what you think about that.
Chainmail could be a thing for sure. This is not a temple. This is not.
Yeah. Adam Power says it looks like a trash can. This is the early stages, so you've got to go through ugly before it gets pretty. So
yeah, it's a trash can helmet.
Yeah. But that looks like a goblin working the docks.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it really does. Let's see. More ideas for the helmet. It feels like.
Mark Rivera says like a scapular helmet. Kirby says pointy helmet. Guion says maybe you could have chainmail running down the back side of the helmet, so the back side of his head.
Could definitely have stuff. Yes.
And Adam Power says comically undersized helmet. That's kind of what I was thinking. Like, it's clearly not his. He definitely took it from somebody, and his head is way too big for it. But he's acting like it's his.
Squire's helmet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a what?
Like a Squire's helmet. Yeah.
I don't know why I'm doing these shapes, but I'm just.
A lot of people are saying that it's a Steve-O tribute.
I feel almost horrible for that. No, that. Oh, let's see.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us for this stream. Appreciate it. I know Kent and I are over the moon about the continuation of God's Fire. Hope that you guys are as well. If you have any other recommendations, make sure you're throwing them in the chat. We'll try to get to as many of those as we can.
I was over the moon as soon as I found out about the live stream. I was like,
Yeah.
Oh man, best 4th of July ever.
You're awesome, Kev.
Adam Power says the helmet should have a dent in it. I think that's a good idea.
Oh, absolutely.
like somebody that was wearing it got hit with a mace or something, and smashed in the side of it.
I'm all for that.
Guion says you could maybe have a visor on the helmet that's stuck in the up position.
Yes. Oh, yes, I like that. That is it's not a night thing on top, but okay. Let's do this.
I don't know about that one, Van, but we did talk about giving him some hair in his ears. So
what did Van say?
He said eggplant ears, which yeah, we're not doing that.
He's a big fan of eggplants.
Kirby says because it's such a tiny hat, he would need like a belt or something to strap it down so it doesn't fall off.
Oh, yes.
That would be kind of funny.
Let's see, I think there's that one. I think there was. I really need to get back to trying more stuff. I people who look at this, I haven't tried much of the effects that you can do. I really enjoy the manual. What do you say? That's
putting in the work.
Well, I don't. Yeah, but I it's a satisfying feeling to just be sculpting, like this. It's like playing with clay or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that I used to think, like, when someone would ask me for something, for advice, I always said, no, I'm not the one to ask. For example, I've talked to Seba a lot, Seba Dom, great guy, great sculptor, great guy. But then I heard an interview with Eric Treadaway.
Mm-hmm.
When someone asked him, what's the best way to sculpt? Like, what should you think about? How should you start? How should you go about getting the result? And he was just, well, there is no right way. Just make sure, just get the end result where you want it. And when I heard that, that was very liberating, because it made me feel, oh, okay, yeah, I can do, I can this is wrong, but that it's fun to just enjoy it. And as long as the end result, you don't have to be like, well, that's not the correct way to sculpt if you're a pro. I always prefer the organic ways.
Yeah.
So even though I've sculpted a lot of humans and lately been working more with hard shapes, then you're not doing like this. And if I would sit by myself, I would probably not do like this. I would probably go into like this. See, modeler. I would just, let's see. Working with stuff like this. And then maybe I will do that now as well. but it's I'm trying to speed it up because we're doing it like this, so I'm just saying that what I like the most is actually putting down organic stuff, like creating monsters. vile things.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't rush it just because we're on a stream. I would do whatever it is that you need to do.
Yeah,
So,
but the first thing is always like this playing around to
Yeah.
find the shapes and stuff anyway. So even if this, let's say we found a way for this, then I will probably, I'm just gonna redo it instead. But
Mhm.
then we have something that we can agree on here. So this is a very strange helmet, wouldn't you say?
yes,
It's like, of course, it can't fold down, but it's, and then you have springs in it, like Brother Mandibulus afterwards. But
I would say the visor should probably even be smaller compared to the because of the size of the rest of the helmet.
yeah, and probably shouldn't. Yeah, it should not be like it should be like a visor. But if we put it like this, let's put it close so it's. What this is. I don't know about this helmet actually. I don't. I'm gonna lose the visor for now. We can
All
come
right.
back to that. I'm abandoning that a little bit.
Mark Rivera said he wants to paint it to look like a winter cap. That's the glorious thing. You can paint it however you want.
Yeah. Let's.
You had some comments about maybe bite marks in the ear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think would you do that with wasn't it
Chit Chat?
No. Well, you did do it with Chit Chat, but I'm thinking with the mud thumps. You did it with the big one, right?
I think I did it with Loco.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. And Billy's got something missing on his ear, right?
I don't remember that. I'm looking if I have it over here.
I think he is too.
But I mean, we still
yeah.
I'm gonna do like this. Again, I'm gonna create a folder for this. Until we don't have a name, so I'm just gonna put everything here in that folder. And then we can have a look at the other ones. Oh yeah, Billy's ear is all trashed.
Yeah.
And actually, Loco's ears are fine.
I think Momo had something, didn't he? Didn't Momo have a piece of his ear?
I don't think so, but I'm not gonna. I don't know. And here we have Luna. Okay, and here we have this weird guy. Should we do something else with that helmet?
Well, Adam Power saying maybe turn it backwards, but it's symmetrical at this point, so I don't know that is going to do anything. I don't know. I mean, maybe you could make it more bucket-like with like the Templars, or
yes, okay,
or lose it all together and do chainmail, or maybe the knight part is just part of the story. Maybe it doesn't have to be incorporated into the sculpt. I don't know.
Well, I like the idea of him being an uncle, or thinking that he is better. That
now, is it with him being an uncle? Does that mean that his sibling is Mama, or his sibling is Bobo Senior?
Good question. That's up to us to decide.
Because if he's Bobo Senior's sibling, then maybe he's secretly trying to get Mama for himself. Just saying.
Oh my!
Yeah.
He has a crush, and he's trying to impress her with his hat.
Yeah, making him sound more important that he's a knight.
Yeah, that's horrible. What a
Maybe give him like a smirk or something, you know.
Yeah, definitely a smirk.
Adam says uncle, cousin, grandpa, daddy.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. That is.
Steph says Uncle Beanie needs chainmail under his hat. Kirby says Mud Thumb family tree doesn't have many branches. So
I don't know how big these should be. How...
I think it
Should
looks
they
cool.
Okay. Save again. Have some coffee.
Patrick says make the helmet normal size, but have it fit over one ear. I don't know what he's saying there. Like have it actually go over the ear? I don't know. Mark Rivera saying make the helmet more pointy. We have had a couple people ask that, like more of a kind of like a scapular kind of thing.
Like, but scapular has, it's more like the top is pointy, right?
Right. Yeah. I think that's what they're talking about.
Okay. I just do this and then just.
Oh, Patrick saying rip a hole in the helmet so that the ear fits through it. Okay.
That was it. It's not pointy, but it was a pretty silly shape to have on the head. I kind of like that, but you know, he could have horns, like these bulky horns, like this.
Oh, instead of like a
it's not a knight helmet.
Instead of a plume, it's more like spikes or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Something like this. It's not a knight helmet, though. We're really stuck on this helmet, I think.
I mean, he's saying that it's a knight's helmet and that he's a knight, but we don't know where it came from. So
true.
It could even be something he made himself.
I like that.
But okay, so could have if it's not going to be removable, we can make the hair like it's holding up the helmet slightly in the back.
Guion says maybe have the helmet bigger but pulled back with straps holding it in place for dear life. Okay.
Yeah, let's try something else with the helmet then. Oh, let's remove the wrong pieces. Yeah, let's
If he's trying to impress Mama, he should come with a separate ascot piece. Well, before the whole night thing, I was thinking it would be funny if he had like a really bad toupee, like like he's balding on top, and so he's got like like maybe he killed some animal in the woods or something, and he put it on top of his head like a really bad toupee.
Oh no! Like he has actually a stuffed animal sitting there.
Yeah.
That is even. It's not very night-like, but what if it's not a cool night helmet? What if it's really, really fake? Okay, let's just we're having fun, right? So let's just
Like he's got a squirrel on his head.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
who knows? Maybe it's a fuzz monk,
So that would be okay. He's like that. He should have the big tail behind.
We got Zombie saying possum, Adam saying a squirrel.
Possum, squirrel. Okay. And let's see. Let's just. This is a really weird idea. Everyone knows that, I hope. Okay, let's do like this. Is it a dead animal, or is it actually his companion?
Somebody did mention a companion earlier. I think it would be a dead animal. I think he's trying to pass it off as if it's hair to impress Mama.
Okay.
Because, I mean, we know Bobo Jr. doesn't have any hair. I'm assuming that Bobo Sr. doesn't have any hair either.
But you don't know.
So if this guy's trying to impress her, maybe he thinks that's the way to her heart is to, have a little something up top. with a strap holding the squirrel on.
Okay, let's try that. Okay, then we have to. Is this? Could someone get mad at this because it's like you are doing something bad towards the animal?
No, it's great.
Okay, so it's not.
He found it in the woods dead. He didn't actually kill it.
Exactly. He found it.
Yeah.
It's. This is okay. So for everyone, this is where the stage where you should actually look at reference materials and stuff like that. This is not when you're. Okay. So we should have some kind of. Maybe it should actually.
Len just messaged me.
No.
FYI, folks, Len's not here because his internet's out right now. But he was asking how it's going, and I was telling them where we're at, and he said that the animal toupee should look like Steven's hair.
So actually, it should.
That is awesome.
It doesn't look like an animal yet.
It's getting there.
Yeah, it should probably be. This should be the other way around, I think. Right.
maybe he doesn't pretend to be a knight now. Maybe he says that he used to be a knight. Maybe he's got stories that he tells of past,
yeah, that's just
fights
part
and
of
stuff.
his.
Yeah.
But okay, so maybe should the squirrel?
Well, Kirby's
maybe
saying flip it around so the tail is in the front, and I think that's a good
Yeah.
idea
I actually think so
because I think
too.
the tail would look more like hair then.
Yeah, let's make a folder with all of these.
No, the head in the back might be a nice little Easter egg.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then the tail you could make in the front, make it look like, like swoop, like the tail swoop, like to Steven's hair.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
God, that's so great. Joe Gonzalez says, so the tail is a pompadour? Yeah, basically. That looks awesome from the front.
Then we're gonna make it fluffy at the end, everyone. So it's not gonna be. This is so sick. You are all sick people, and I love you all.
A lot of folks saying that he needs straps. Some people say it should
Yes.
go around the head. Some say it should go around the ears.
Definitely need some kind of strap.
Mark said, put a tiny helmet on the squirrel.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's so great. Oh. Oh, this is a great time. Oh.
So the squirrel head should be not like that. It's not a squirrel yet, but you'll see that it's. I think I'm actually gonna look at some squirrel references to get it.
That's
But
fine.
anyway, this is a fantasy creature, so it's we can actually. It just has to be some kind of cute squirrel-ish, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe that's a chicken move to not look. We'll save it, but he needs a strap anyway.
God, that looks so great from the front. You wouldn't. Mama would not know that that's a squirrel up there.
Just imagine he could just remove the tail, but he's no. He's
plop it down, strap it down.
Yeah, he didn't do much work to it. He just threw it up there, threw some straps on, and called it a day.
Yeah, that's. Maybe he sprayed it or something, so it's. I don't know how far we can go with this. Okay, we should move on to the strap.
Keep in mind, folks, towards the end, he'll be doing detailed tools that'll add all the fur texture and stuff like that to it.
Yes. So the strap, that is actually something that you should use something, a good tool like you have like this. You can go and add like a curve, like insert cylinder. This, okay, it's auto saving. Oh, like this. I'm just gonna show you what a lot of people are using. It's this one, and this I've been using this one a lot. Like you're adding. Okay, this is the large cable, but when you're doing different cybernetic and a lot of cool cosmic figures that are out there now, or that people are doing, they just have a lot of these different cool things added, and I like that. I'm not saying that is a bad thing. I think that's really cool.
Adam Power saying the tail is too fluffy, more scraggly. So that's part of what, when he goes in with the detailed tools, with the fur and stuff, it'll take some of that out.
So here's where I should use the strap, but I'm not gonna do that now. Like I said, I'm just gonna get an idea. So I'm just basically gonna We need a I'm just gonna play around like this. Drag it along, but where do we want it attached? Where do we want the straps?
Some people say around the head, and some people say around the ears. So
around there, and behind here, it feels like it should be lost. So maybe it should be before the ears, behind the chops, and hidden. So it's hidden behind the chops.
Yeah, that would work. Adam says strap with a bow under the chin. So he like tied it under the chin. Joe Gonzalez saying it should just be a piece of rope. So
yeah. Okay.
I could see that he would have more something like rope or twine or something.
Yeah, and so then we should have like he thinks this is what makes him look good. He has no idea what is good looking and not. It's just, I hear that ladies like the hair. So I'm using the move tool to just drag pieces around. Okay. So let's see.
It's almost like the Jacob Marley thing that goes over his head to hold his jaw in place. But they're saying to tie it underneath instead of on top. I don't know how that would, because you got to also make it functional, because it's going to have to, plug into a neck port. Though.
I don't.
So,
oh yeah, the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we can just make it like this, and then we make a bow below here at the end. This needs to,
Maverick saying it's Elvis. Well, that's kind of the look I think he's going for, is an Elvis-ish look. But it's with a squirrel.
Yeah, I think the bow kind of helps with him trying to look good for Mama. Like, don't notice the rest of this, because look at the lovely bow.
Oh, you think that he looks good with a bow?
We've got one Mr. Stephen Bishotti in the chat.
Uh-oh.
He would like you to explain what's going on.
Stephen, I thought you were busy tonight. Why don't you join the chat instead? Stephen, why don't you join here?
So Stephen, what we have so far is this is Bobo Senior's brother. He's an uncle to the Mud Thump kids, and he is trying to impress Mama to steal her away from Bobo Senior, since he's missing in action. And he thinks the way to do that is a really suave, sophisticated haircut like yours. And so, but he doesn't have hair on top, so he has put what appears to be a squirrel, dead squirrel, on top of his head that he is using as a toupee. So that's kind of where we're at. And he tells stories about his past experience as a knight, which he never was, but
God,
that's what he does to impress people.
Sorry, Stephen, but they've actually said that this is you if you were a Mud Thump, but you are not. You're so much more. But if you were a Mud Thump, part of the clan, this would be you.
Stephen is saying that you told him that you couldn't do a show tonight.
I've been trying to get him to do a show for, I don't know. Stephen, I love you. Please join. You want to join, Stephen? Because Curtis, you can just send him the link, right?
Yeah, I can send him the link for sure.
Yeah, send him the link, and then so he has the option to say no, because then he can be like, I didn't get the link. Yes, you did.
I'd send the link. I think I got blocked earlier.
Nice.
Okay, so here we have the rest of the squirrel.
Link is sent. Adam said something a second ago. He said maybe the squirrel chewed on one of his ears. What if he thought the squirrel was dead, but it's not? So he tied it to the top of his head, but it's still actually alive.
I like that.
Joe Gonzalez said, I'm already playing a custom for this head.
Yes.
J Max says he definitely needs a motorcycle.
And for the squirrel, you should add eyes and stuff. But okay, we just
Nice.
we're gonna play more with this. So I guess the helmet was he tells stories of being a knight.
Oh yeah,
But he wears this because this is more charming. Maybe you could have an alternative head that we're not going to do now.
He actually started God's fire.
Oh, but that wouldn't be a positive thing in the crime scene of
Gotcha.
Actually, maybe he said that he met God's fire once, and they run from him.
Mm.
There you go. Yeah, I like that.
And everyone's like, "What? Really?" Yes, except for Luna. I don't think Mama would fall for this either. I think actually it's only maybe it's only Loco and Momo.
I think maybe she would fake like she was falling for it just to keep him around and keep him doing things for her. Yeah.
Use his assets.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what his assets would be though.
I don't know either.
What did the squirrel toupee can play a concert on his head. He's in a hookabilly band, not a Oh, Steven is there. Sorry, I have to add him. Sorry, Steven. Hello, Steven.
Hello?
This is LegionsCast when you're not here.
What is going on?
So we thought that we should collectively, I'm not taking, everyone here in the chat are responsible, so you can check the list afterwards who are taking part of this. We are creating more mud thumbs.
It sounds to me like you're making up stories and doing a bunch of stuff without me.
No, you're here.
Yeah, we're just kind of getting the bones of it in place. I mean, you're the one that pretties it up for sure.
Yeah. You're gonna make something. So, Curtis, tell him the story.
Well, I kind
of.
Oh,
you already did. Maybe yeah. Steven
did. Yeah. Yeah. So this is the uncle. We don't have a name for him. That's where Steven comes in. You gotta give him a name and everything.
So you're trying to tell me that this is Bobo's brother?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Or maybe it could be
Bobo Senior's brother. Yeah.
But it could be a more uncle that is further away or something. I don't know.
Or he might just be making that up.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, now I actually see the squirrel. This is silly.
It started out as a helmet.
I'm actually really liking this.
So
so he doesn't have any hair, he's just got a squirrel strap to his.
Well, he has
mutton chops on the side, but yeah, he doesn't have hair on top.
This is ridiculous. But that's good.
So we have a long list of collaborators who are taking part in making this. Okay.
They're saying that he's not really Bobo Senior's brother, but he just showed up one day and told people that he was and started telling stories.
Exactly. He's not even the same kind of goblin. He's like they have no blood bond whatsoever. But it's like, hello.
Yeah, he's more of like a bog goblin type.
yeah. You know, maybe his mother was a bog goblin.
Kirby says, but Mama likes the free labor, so she keeps him around.
Yeah, and he thinks he's okay.
Zombie says, look, down here in the South, sometimes when an adult male friend shows up, we call him uncle, even if there's no blood relation. Just saying. Oh, that's great.
Details we can work on as much as we want, but what else do we? What are we missing with this one?
We said hair in the ear.
Yes,
Adam Power said a wart. And then we talked about making one of the eyes bigger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Maybe he's got a kind of a raised eyebrow or something. He definitely has a lip curl because he's got that Elvis look going on.
And right now he has no eyebrows.
Yeah, little.
He has no eyebrows right now.
Correct. Yeah.
Just gonna prepare for some air here.
We're prepared. Kirby says, like Zombie said, I had a few uncles, quote unquote, in the family. Billy Idol lip curl.
Oh man.
Patrick says he'll need scratches on his head and ears from the squirrel. He thought the squirrel was dead, Steven, but the squirrel is actually still alive, but it's strapped to his head.
So then we need to remove some of this hair.
My gosh.
I'm glad you could join, Steven, because we're creating
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Give him total Hulk Hogan.
Because we need to make scratch marks here, right?
Yep.
Oops. Maybe he needs some hair in the back.
Maybe he needs a little ponytail.
Yes,
like a little short one, like a little
a little rat tail.
Yeah.
So it goes here. Okay, let's see. Here's actually it. Okay. Let's put that back again. And
Steph says, yes, the squirrel, she scratches his big fat noggin all the time.
Short ponytail.
I just see him, like, after he finds out the squirrel's alive, he still wants to keep it up there because he's getting attention with his hair, so he has to like feed the squirrel. He has to like put food back there. Adam Power says, "What about a braided rat tail?"
Where?
For his, like, that's what they call like the little like thin ponytail, the rat tail.
Oh, got it. So,
Yeah, it's just like a little short, thin, braided, weaselly looking ponytail thing.
okay, got it. So something. And this is gonna be braided then.
Yeah.
That's, and then, oh, if that's gonna be, then we need something like this at the end of the braid, right?
Mark says he randomly punches the squirrel to keep it knocked out. Stop talking back.
Just dumbest mud pump ever.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna do the braiding now. That's I'll do that later. But we have a rat tail there. It's gonna be braided. And he's just staring at the rat tail. And then of course we're gonna have scratch marks. Yeah, we'll add.
You said you're gonna do an oversized eye, right?
Yes.
Yeah, one of the eyes was going to be bigger.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
let's just
when
do
I,
that right away.
if I paint this thing, I'm gonna make one of his eye. I'm gonna make his eyeballs out of alignment. So like one of them is looking up at the squirrel.
Nah, that's perfect.
Okay, so let's do like this. If we're gonna change it.
Yeah, make it that one.
Yeah,
so
you
that
said the whole
look
eyeball
up
should be
squirrel.
bigger.
Yeah,
whole
I think
actual
so. I think
eyeball.
bring the eyeball out a little bit and size it up so it looks like it's bulged.
So it's totally different from. Okay, then I think it's better to not that one.
Maybe it's infected.
I'll just, I don't even know where I'm creating the tools. I'm just going by speed now. So let's see. I have so I have a lot of cleaning up afterwards. So the question is, how much bigger should it be?
Comically bigger.
Like that.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
And then we're having.
I do think the upper lip on the side without the tooth, we should raise the lip up a little bit.
Absolutely.
The upper lip. Yeah, like there you go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then you probably maybe you want to see some of the teeth below it, or doesn't that matter?
I don't think you need to.
I'm just gonna erase this now. No, I don't know. We've done something, so I don't know.
Steph, you got to use smaller words than that. I don't. Yeah, I barely read as it is. So.
So we said 1.5, but we can continue a little bit longer, right? It's just people can drop off whenever they feel like. Somehow I've done something. I can't.
Oh, nice.
What's the problem? What's the problem?
Yeah, Adam, he takes really good care of that one tooth. So he's only got the one, but he really, really takes care of it.
I'll fix that later. So
This thing is beautiful. I want to paint this like yesterday.
Born on the 4th of July.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
no, it
so
should still be something like this.
whose idea was the squirrel?
I think it just kind of evolved from the chat and everything. I said that he was trying to impress Mama, but he didn't have hair, so maybe a bad toupee. And then somehow we ended up on it being a dead animal that he found. But it's not dead. He
That
thought
is
it
a
was
big
dead.
eye.
It's not dead.
Well, I got to hand it to the group. That's pretty ingenious, and it's as ridiculous as it is. It's really funny.
His tooth should be gold. Can you see that? You have my Edgar Dove.
Adam Power says the one eye is too big now. The main thing is that the other eye is half dropped.
I have
a droopy eye.
Steven, are you thinking about any names? Or anyone else have a suggestion what you're thinking about?
I don't have any idea.
I mean, when me and Steven have picked the, made the God's Fire characters, it's in many cases, it's, sometimes it's been the first name that comes up. Sometimes it has been, a lot of names that we've been throwing around. It's like, nah, that's not it. Nah, that's not it. That's okay, but and that's part of the process of,
We were talking about that he kind of.
I heard a wart. Where do we want the wart?
Oh, I don't know.
The warts. He has. Okay, we can do
maybe on his chin.
I was just thinking chin because I feel like he's got a lot of stuff going on throughout his body, throughout his face.
Somewhere.
But
somewhere there, it's annoying maybe for him.
I was thinking, we were talking about the whole night part of it, and that he kind of is jealous of, but also despises God's fire. So maybe he has some sort of name that he took from God's fire, like instead of believer, maybe he took like Levi out of it, like he's Uncle Levi or something.
Maybe he has the name.
Yeah,
he has a the in his name. The
something
down on the chin somewhere.
The gyrator.
Oh, now I realized I can't hear any of you.
Is that? Oh yeah, we're sitting here spitting out gold, and he can't hear us.
What happened to the audio? Let's see.
Can you hear me now?
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Just Emil can't hear us. Yeah.
Maybe is he an entertainer?
Okay. Sorry, I haven't heard anyone talk in the last few minutes, so
that's all right. We're just spitballing names and stuff here.
So okay. Is he should we make him an entertainer? Is he the entertainer for the Mud Thumps? Is he the guy that goes on stage and?
But I don't think that he tries to be funny, right? It's more like he thinks he's charming and.
No, we've already got which one is it that? Is it crazy?
Bill is the crazy one. Really crazy.
he's the one that in his bio he loves to beat on things and make percussion noises.
Yeah,
right?
that's Billy.
That's Billy.
That's Billy, right?
Yeah.
So Billy's kind of a musician, right? Maybe he's in a band with Billy, and this guy's the lead singer.
There we go with the Elvis.
And he calls himself the Entertainer, like a God's Fire
The
character,
Entertainer.
because
Yes.
he thinks he's jealous. He loves God's Fire, and he thinks he wants to be like them, and so he calls himself the Entertainer.
Also, Morlock says he talks like Andrew Dice Clay.
Yo, bada boom, bada bing. Hickory dickory dock.
Zombie says being part bog goblin, he's quite throaty. So deep throaty voice.
Hickory dickory dock.
Just thinking.
Well, it sounds like you guys are doing fantastic. I've got to go. I'm on vacation, so.
So am I.
Yeah,
you're in your basement.
Me?
Or you're in your house. I mean, not basement, but.
Yeah.
Well, where are you then?
I'm on a staycation.
I'm at my what is my sister's cabin now, but used to be my parents' cabin as I grew up. So this is yeah.
Joe said the band's name is Mud's Fire. I love it.
Mud's Fire.
Oh, now I see.
Or it could be. They could be the Mud Thumpers.
Yeah, I think somebody said that. Oh no, Adam Power called him Brother Thumper. That is looking awesome. I love this. Might be my new favorite mud thump.
Well, you were part of creating it.
It's a lot of fun.
This is just a ton of fun.
Oh.
Well, say hello to the family, Stephen.
Yep.
Will do. See you guys later. Keep it up.
Have a good one.
Thanks, Steven.
Oh, save. I thought we were gonna do something crazy today, but this is
more crazy than you thought.
Yeah, it is.
That's all right.
And I love that. And we have
it's true. Oh yeah, some deep scratches on his head.
We'll probably have to add those again later, but it's for now we can just let them be there.
I can't wait till Jesse finds out we took a little furry creature and strapped him to the head of a goblin.
Maybe we don't have to tell him. Can we just avoid telling him, everyone? So that I don't want to make him sad.
Maybe we should.
Like, if he asks you, what did you do yesterday? Nothing. You just say nothing.
I might wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow's Jesse's birthday, and I'll tell him on his birthday.
Happy birthday! Look what we made for you.
Yeah,
we made a critter.
Yeah, we made a critter in God's fire. Congratulations. It's also Cookie's birthday tomorrow. So
yeah, Cookie, happy birthday.
Yeah, Cookie and Jesse share the same birthday. This is excellent.
Yeah, what if he is a musician, maybe his instrument could double as what he uses to knock the squirrel out?
Yes. He just bashes himself in the head with it.
This is not a squirrel foot, but yeah, I like that.
I love it when you look at it from the front. It totally doesn't look like a dead animal. It just looks like his hair. Oh, I'm sorry, not a dead animal, a live animal.
Yes, we don't make dead animals here.
Darla made sure she corrected me on that one.
That's good, Darla. I would never. You know me.
Mark says a banjo. He could be playing a banjo, and then he also bashes the squirrel with it.
This I seriously need to look at some squirrel. See this leg. This is horrible. Even though it's a fantasy thing, I think it
It'll
needs
get there.
more. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave this for now and just actually check.
Make his cheeks full, like he hands him some nuts every now and then to keep him quiet.
Yeah, he throws up some nuts there. It needs to, those cheeks. Yeah, it's another kind of animal. This.
It's a mythos squirrel type animal thing.
Yeah,
That's
a good excuse for someone not capable of doing a squirrel. It's like, well, it's supposed to be this way. It's
it's a
don't
mythos.
You know how to do
yeah.
Can't you do a squirrel? Yeah. Actually, no. But it's not. First time when I was younger, I always thought that if you couldn't draw it from your head, when you did a drawing, that you instead were looking at pictures and getting reference and stuff. I thought that was a failure. I thought that then you don't know how to draw. So I rarely did that. I looked at comic art and draw that, but then when I got older, and this is sad that it took me so long to learn this, and I went to a friend of mine who was working on a game studio, and I went into the concept artist room and saw all the references, and I was like, isn't this cheating? And they were like, what? No, how else can you can't know how everything looks? And I was like, oh shit, it only took me 25 years or something to figure that out. Don't do that. Look at reference material. Look at it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Kirby says painting that squirrel is going to be half the fun.
Gonna make a really cute notes at the end. He's gonna be cute. He's
Steven
not gonna
wasn't mad. This just said at least Steven wasn't mad. And Carlos says that squirrel would definitely poop on his forehead.
It's like, I think first of all I thought maybe he should have his head down, but it's like, no, it should be up. So he's like, I am alive. I am not chosen this. Chose this. Okay. Big eye, tooth. Shall he have more than one tooth?
I like the one tooth. Adam was saying about making the other eye kind of droopy a little bit. Pull that eyebrow, that eyelid down up top.
On top?
Yeah, pull that down a little bit.
Oh, make it more different.
Yeah.
Maybe that was too much.
I think that's good.
So, people of the cabal, of our community, there are definitely more realistic and menacing looking goblins sculpted by friends in our community. So
probably not a crazier one though.
Nope.
This this is a team effort. to make something this. And that is, I said that in the beginning, and we talked about this before. It's like, this is something that is fun. I enjoy doing this together, you know.
Well, and Chit Chat is so good, and the General, like, they've been some awesome pieces. So,
and this is slightly different from those.
A little bit.
I would say.
Joe says this guy's a lady killer, Emil. Totally agree.
Well, he thinks so.
Yeah.
Hello there. Hello.
and yeah, he can totally be like the bard and just coming up with all these like fake story songs. The mascot.
Gosh.
And it started with just a few things: a toad goblin. What do you say? Mut chops? No.
Mutton chops. Yeah.
Mutton chops. And a knight.
Yeah, I mean, you've been sculpting for like an hour and 15 minutes because we spent about 30 minutes talking about God's fires. And this, for an hour and 30 minutes, this is absolutely amazing.
Thank you, my dear friend.
I'm gonna message in the Wolf's Den and ask Len why I don't have my shipping notice yet.
Yeah, don't expect this like later this week. So there's still quite a bit of fine tuning that Emil will have to do, and then he's got to put the hole underneath of it to make sure that it'll fit with whatever body we're going to use. Then he's got to send it to Len for a test print, and there's quite a bit of work that goes on after this. So
this wart felt something special. Who wished for the wart? Was that Adam?
I think so.
Like, this guy didn't have enough.
I love that squirrel so much.
He was not meant to have a helmet. That's for sure. We tried. All right,
we tried. It didn't work.
And now we know why.
Darla's asking what his name is. Steven was saying the Entertainer.
Yeah, but he needs another
name like God's Fire.
Yeah, but the God's Fire characters have names as well.
Yeah, I said Uncle Levi because I thought maybe he would take a name from God's Fire, like Believer. He shortened to Levi. So I don't know. But that's just an idea. If people have names, ideas in the chat, throw them out there.
Yeah, go ahead. Give it. You know that one of the God's Fire characters is named after me.
Kirby says maybe it's the chops or the eyes, but I knew a guy from Cuba that looked just like this.
No, don't say that.
He had a squirrel on top of his head and everything. He said he lost a leg to diabetes, but was pleased when he used his prosthetic to smuggle seeds into the U.S. All righty. Well, folks, this was an amazing time. Some great ideas from the chat.
Yeah, absolutely. So for the final result, really must make sure that this rope feels tight. You know, so it's not just and that is something to work on.
Adam says Uncle Bunky. Patrick says Uncle Jesse the Spooner.
No, not Jesse. Oh.
Mark says the squirrel needs his tongue hanging out. Well, we don't want it to be dead.
No,
It's an alive squirrel.
Yeah.
Kirby says Uncle Lever. Instead of believer, he shortened it just Lever. Uncle Lever. I like that. That's kind of cool. I did tell Jesse that he's missing you sculpt an amazing critter.
No, you did not.
I did.
Oh.
I just love that from the front, you have no idea that that's a squirrel on top of his head. And then you turn and it's like, oh, okay.
That's gold.
Yeah.
It's like, hello. It's so mean. It's so mean. So, like I said, the rope needs to be tight. So at the end result, you will see that the hair is hiding it, but it cannot look loose. So that is something that, and then you build up the fur around it, so you feel that it's pushed down somehow. And but those are the kind of smaller details, but are important details. He needs to look squished, like, because otherwise it's more like, why can't he just slide away? No, he can't. So this was a special celebration for 4th of July.
It's an amazing 4th of July squirrel goblin thing.
Happy birthday, America.
When it comes to squirrel, one thing that I appreciate are the there are a lot of animals that you have in the US that we don't have in Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, of course, it's a whole, the US is a whole continent compared, but for example, black squirrels around where Steven is, they're running everywhere, and it's so much fun to just see them, like, whoa, that's another black squirrel. Steven is like, yeah. Oh, and there's another one. Yeah.
I think it's interesting that even though you haven't spent much time, in the grand scheme of things in your life, you haven't spent a whole lot of time in America, but on 4th of July, you have nailed America with this sculpt. I mean, this is 100% America. So. You did it, Emil. You really Americanized this sculpt.
We have the Tolkien goblins, we have the Harry Potter goblins, and we have the American goblins.
Right.
So what else fun things do we need to add? Because I can sit and work on details, but I'm not sure how interesting that is, but
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, as far as like the main points, I think you've hit them.
I need to go back and look. Something looks a little off with the nose, and I'm not sure what it is.
Feel free to comment, everyone. This is not the time to feel I don't know what to say. I don't dare to say anything. It's just we're having fun. There's nothing that's gonna be like,
oh,
I'm
well,
offended.
Bog goblins don't have a nose. That's maybe why. They've got like gills on the side. So if he's half bog goblin, maybe he does have a nose, but maybe it's smaller. I don't know. Maybe like the holes are smaller or something. Adam is saying a chewed on ear.
Now, a chewed on ear, yeah. And now when I look at this, I I designed a very special goblin. This is crazy. A goblin troll
Mhm.
that looked like this, minus the wart, the tooth, and the head hair, which is the big point for this one.
Right.
But that is actually something that I started a store many years ago, and then I just drew something to put up on the window to hide while we were putting everything in order, and then I named it Urgo, and that is actually the name of my company now, and that is because his dad was a goblin and his mother was a troll,
Mm.
and he has this you can beat him as much as you want. He's a regenerative skills from his troll mother, so even if he get hurt, he regains his strength, and he never was raised with this, because his mother gave birth to him while she was just walking in the forest, just kind of dropped him from giving birth, so she never raised him.
Yeah.
And this has some similarities to that.
Adam's now saying that we need a whole line of goblins with different animals on their head.
Is bite marks, you said.
That's what he said on the ear. I don't know if it could reach his ear though. Maybe it would be at like the base of the ear. Maybe there's some like that that ear there. Maybe they're like
Maybe bite marks here
yeah.
in the skin, like he's not just claw marks, but he's like
Right.
eating here.
Little nibbles.
Nibble on his
He's saying, or maybe an earring. I could see an earring. Maybe even not even like a hoop earring, but like a diamond or
gemstone?
something. Yeah.
That's
Like just like one like jewel that he made an earring out of.
So let's try that then. And
Yeah, Kirby says diamond stud earring. I agree.
Oh yeah.
this is where we should use this to
So what is this tool that you're using now?
C modeler. But the first thing you should do is to prepare so you don't get it like this.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Very cool.
So every time you see hard surface, or many times when you see hard surfaces, armor or swords and stuff like that, you're using C modeler. And even if you would do sculpting like I've done for the rest, you go back and you prepare the file with C modeler. I mean afterwards. So you resculpt on top of it, kind of. Is this what we're talking about?
I think it would be lower.
Lower, like
on
it's
the ear.
hidden behind his.
No, like just a little bit lower on the ear. Yeah, like right there, something like that. Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think in the chat? I think that's glorious.
He's ready to entertain.
Yeah, Mark's saying earlobe, but if you put it, it's not going to be able to be seen behind the mutton chops. So
The mutton chops are quite big, and the ears, as of now, well, they're.
yeah, he
I was
really
thinking
doesn't
maybe we
have an
should- we could-
earlobe. It's true.
We could raise the ears, but I'm not. It's kind. It's maybe. Oh, maybe up like that.
I do like it up. Yeah.
Yeah. This is more also a little bit more Mythic Legion's ears, I feel.
Kirby says larger ears are a sign of virility amongst goblins. Stuff. Says Jesse, we made this furry mama mud humper named Uncle Lever, the entertainer. Him and his scratchy sidekick saved the world from diabetes and swamp pink eye, America.
America.
So good.
That's how you tell a.
You know what?
Story.
Maybe the stud isn't in his ear. Maybe it's in his lip. Maybe he's got like a lip ring. He takes natural goblin ear enhancement pills. Oh, shoot.
Hey, squirrel.
The scratches are great on top of his head. That's cool. That is great, Emil. You killed it. I think you're muted or your mic went off. He was probably talking to us this whole time. We can't hear him.
Uh-oh.
Did you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah.
we hear you now.
Oh, have I been muted for long?
I don't know. We haven't heard you talking for a little bit, but that's fine.
Okay, I've been talking all the whole time, so
Nice.
so let's do some notes maybe. Just take the note. Some ideas for us to fix.
Kirby says, great job, all you wild animals in the chat. Yeah, this was definitely a team effort.
This was definitely a team effort. So it's what did we say about the back?
Braided rat tail.
Braided rat tail.
Yep.
Cha-ching.
Bite marks. You can see that all of this hair would be, just sculpted in, and I will add I will continue to sculpt the hair, but I will start do a symmetry, because especially hair looks weird when it's symmetrical. I will make this. Are we just gonna make it a band, or shall I make it look like a rope?
I think rope is good.
Rope.
Yeah, rope.
But I think you're right. I think on the sides, it would like blend in with the hair, like the hair would cover it.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna make it look realistic. And then, at the bottom here, maybe just. Do we want just a knot, or?
I would try to make it not as noticeable, but
just make them just make it look like a small knot.
Yeah,
below here, just not a bow tie or anything.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna make, and then the small pieces will look down. It's like, what is that? And there's like, oh, it's this. Small. No. Anything else we've talked about?
I don't think so. Not for the sculpt. We got some points for the story, but Stephen will knock that out. So
yeah, and then the name will of course be something.
Yeah. I like that he calls himself the Entertainer, but he definitely needs a name.
Yeah, and I like that he is.
Gosh, that looks so great from the front. It's perfect.
These are the kind of the things that I love sculpting them, but I'm not sure I would start sculpting it without good company.
Yeah. Yeah, Adam keeps saying ear bite, but we've done a lot of ear bite ones between the goblins and chit chat, and I don't know.
We have really done that, but more bite marks here. Maybe we can add. Need to do a lot of squirrel. Oh, I'm gonna squirrel details. It feels like this rat tail. That's gonna be one of those pieces that are easily breaking.
I don't think so. It doesn't. You didn't make it super thin.
I've not done it yet. It just.
I mean, the base of it looks like it's thick enough that it would hold.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna fix that. So, what do you feel, guys? Shall we stay?
I think it's amazing.
Just one more reason: God's fire never dies.
God's fire never dies. So this will be things that are coming up. But one thing that Len really liked was that we're gonna do something for LegionsCon, a special thing that I was almost thinking, let's do it right away. And he was like, I think we should think like this and this. So there will be, not let's pour everything out right away. Just enjoy the ride, with everything that we're doing.
It's a journey.
It's a journey, and now this was, this is not one of the things that was going to be the releases for July or August now, but this will probably go in there. And I mean, you just go and nag at Len, and it's gonna be. He probably send this to you, Curtis, and you're like, okay, we have to do this. But it's one small tooth, but that's it.
That's great. I love it. Thank you for including us in on the journey.
Yes, thank you so much. This has been so much fun.
Yeah. So, shall we do the thing that Steven loves doing? Maybe Curtis, do you wanna? If I put on the music, do you want to do an outro for the episode?
Sure, absolutely.
So you feel
This was we're just sculpting with Emil, God's Fire. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate all your input. Love you.
thanks everyone for this. I had a great time. I just have to say that as well. Sorry, Curtis. I just have to. Everyone, thank you for this. Bye.